It is dark. Not, I should probably turn on a lamp, dark. Not, where did I put my phone, dark. But genuinely, absolutely, completely dark. Dark, like the entire world has been turned off. Dark, like existence itself has decided to take a break. You can't see your hand in front of your face. You can't see the tree 3 feet away from you. But something can see you. You can tell because there are 2 small glowing points of light in the darkness ahead, and they're looking at you. Hi, I'm your narrator, and today we're asking why ancient humans were absolutely, irrationally, completely rationally terrified of the dark. Spoiler, it was not irrational. Meet Grog. He's back. He survived the disease and the volcano. He is genuinely remarkable. But now it's night, and Grog has a problem, because the problem with darkness in the Paleolithic era was not that it was mysterious or spooky or associated with evil spirits. The problem was considerably more straightforward. Things that wanted to eat Grog were nocturnal. Lions, leopards, hyenas, cave bears, saber-toothed cats. These animals were built for the dark. They had eyes that could gather vastly more light than Grog's eyes. They could see in near complete darkness. Grog could not. Grog's visual acuity in the dark was approximately useless. The predators who wanted Grog for dinner had a dramatic tactical advantage the moment the sun went down. This is not superstition. This is real. Ancient humans who didn't fear the dark at night were selected against, consistently, by things with very large teeth. The fear of darkness is not irrational. It is 400,000 years of very well-reasoned evolutionary pressure hardwired into your central nervous system. If you are still, today, a little uneasy in a very dark room, you can blame your prehistoric ancestors who didn't come home one night because they forgot to be scared. But ancient humans did something brilliant. They found the solution that changed everything. They learned to control fire, and fire changed the dark. The fire circle was the first great technological achievement of human nighttime survival. A tribe gathered around a central fire was safer than a tribe in the dark for several simple reasons. The light deterred predators. Most apex predators don't want to walk into a ring of fire to get their dinner. The warmth helped with survival. The light allowed the tribe to see each other, to maintain social bonds, to communicate, to tell stories. And the stories they told around the fire in the dark shaped human culture for hundreds of thousands of years. But fire went out, and when the fire went out, the dark came back. So ancient humans had to explain what lived in the dark, and they got creative. The Greeks gave us Nyx, the goddess of night herself, a primordial deity who existed before most of the Olympians, older even than Zeus. She was so powerful that even Zeus was afraid of her. Oh, to me, I'm a rare. She gave birth to death, sleep, dreams, doom, and strife. The Greeks, in other words, had correctly identified that the night is where all the bad things come from. They just personified it into a divine figure. The Mesopotamians gave us Lilitu, a wind demon associated with darkness who attacked people in their sleep. The creature that became, over thousands of years, the legend of Lilith. The Mesopotamians were so frightened of nighttime demons that they buried clay tablets with protective spells under the floors of their houses to keep the dark creatures out. The Norse gave us an entire bestiary of night creatures, trolls who turned to stone at sunrise, probably because you never saw them in daylight. They kept to the dark places. Fossagrim under frozen water, nightmares, things that lived under and in and through the winter darkness. Across African cultures, the night brought its own spiritual travelers and guardians and terrors. The darkness was a liminal space, neither the living world nor the world of ancestors, but a transit corridor between the two. You were more vulnerable at night, not just physically, but spiritually. And virtually every culture independently developed the same basic response. Keep the fire burning. Always keep the fire burning. Don't let it go out. The oil lamp, arguably the single most important invention in human domestic history, appeared somewhere around 70,000 years ago. A simple shell or stone bowl filled with animal fat with a plant fiber wick. You could carry this. You could take the fire with you. You were no longer tied to a fixed fire pit. The dark was now something you could push back wherever you went. Torches followed, then candles, then oil lamps with glass chimneys. Each iteration extended the radius of human safety into the dark. Each generation pushed back the boundary of the night a little further. But someone had to stay awake. This was critical. The night watchman, or night watcher, was one of humanity's oldest and most important jobs. One member of the tribe kept watch through the dark hours, maintained the fire, watched the perimeter, listened for the sounds that didn't belong. This was a role of enormous responsibility. It's also where the phrase, keeping watch, comes from. Humans have been doing it every single night, continuously, since before cities existed. The moon became humanity's ally in the darkness. A full moon extends human vision significantly. Ancient humans tracked lunar cycles with enormous precision for this reason. Knowing when the full moon would rise was a survival advantage. The moon was comfort, navigation, calendar, and alarm clock. Medieval European cities developed a tradition called curfew, from the French couvre-feu, meaning cover the fire. At a designated evening hour, a bell rang and citizens were expected to bank their fires and go inside. The word curfew doesn't come from law enforcement. It comes from fire safety in a world where a stray ember from an unbanked fire could burn down an entire wooden city overnight. Ancient Rome, for all its many problems, actually had oil lamp street lighting in certain districts. Roman cities were more illuminated at night than medieval cities that came after the empire's collapse. After Rome fell, European cities got significantly darker and stayed that way for about 1,000 years. Gradually, city lighting returned. By the 17th and 18th centuries, gas lamps appeared on city streets. Benjamin Franklin advocated for street lighting. Cities became safer, more active at night. The nighttime economy began to emerge. Then, in 1879, Thomas Edison demonstrated his first practical incandescent light bulb, and then nothing about the human relationship with darkness was ever the same again. Electric light spread quickly. Street lamps, homes, factories that could run through the night. The dark was not just pushed back, it was systematically, permanently abolished from large portions of human experience. Today, 2/3 of the world's population lives under skies so polluted with artificial light that they cannot see the Milky Way with the naked eye. A galaxy of 200 billion stars invisible because of all the light we're using to keep the dark away. Which brings us to something funny. 2/3 of us can't see the stars because we're too busy keeping the lights on. And despite all of this, despite the electric lights and the street lamps and the glow of screens and the entire illuminated infrastructure of civilization, if you ask most people to sit in complete darkness for 30 minutes, they won't enjoy it. The evolutionary response is still in there. The elevated heart rate, the straining to see, the involuntary listening for sounds you can't identify. 400,000 years of being something's dinner does not go away because you installed a light bulb. Grog was right to be scared, and part of you still is. The predators are gone. The ancestral memory of them is not. The fire kept us alive long enough to invent the light switch. The least we can do is appreciate it.